Hey everybody, Tim Knight here. I'm going to do just what I did yesterday, which is an extemporaneous, and come on, that's all right. I think NYU grad, that was a new word, but there's words I don't know too, so we're all learning together, aren't we? Expand your vocabulary with the slope of hope. But I'm not saying to be highfalutin. It's my backwards way of saying I'm completely ill prepared for this, and I just jump in and start yakking about charts. But you get the raw Tim with that. So let's talk about what happened today. And I'll say what I always say at the end of these FOMC things. I'm so delighted this is behind us now. It allows us to, ignore the Fed and just look forward. And there are I got to tell you, my fellow bears, there's so many good things going on in the bears' favor. September is the most bearish month of the year. We're past the Fed. The Fed has made it very clear they're not going to do dick for the bulls. We're heading into a dreadful earnings season. And that's just the beginning. I mean, setting aside all the geopolitical mayhem and the other opportunities for awfulness, things are just fan-damn-tastic right now. So I'm delighted. And after the collective suffering of the Earth sign set for all these years, we need to make the most of this. Because if there's one thing I'm going to say that I want you to pay attention to, it's this. This is the window of opportunity where we get an organic market again. The Fed is allowing, is permitting, is deigning. There's another word for you, D-E-I-G-N-I-N-G. It's a perfect word for this. They're deigning to permit the market to be a market. They don't have the thumbs on the scale. They're not controlling it. They're not distorting it. We're not getting the funhouse mirror effect. Technical analysis works gloriously in an organic market because an organic market's a real market. It's not the artificial canard that the Federal Reserve had given us and people like Dave Portnoy for the post-COVID insanity. So we need to make the most of it. Within reason. I mean, the thing is that the market has been wiped out 30, 40, 50, 70, 90, 95% for a lot of individual stocks already. So clearly with a crystal ball, you could start with a $10,000 account and be a billionaire by now. In fact, I'll share something with you. I'm very close to $1 trillion in my virtual account. Isn't that stupid? When it gets to $1 trillion, I'll show you. But it just goes to show without any rules, you can just do crazy things. But I'm not a trillionaire. But it's been a good week. And let's look at the market. This, of course, is just today, and more than today, it's the past 24 hours or so, on the ES. And you were there. You know what happened. We essentially were just tootling right along, being bored. We were clipping our fingernails and reading science books and just marking time. And the news hit, and the market plunged. And I'd sent out a tweet. Those of you who follow me on Twitter, I sent out a tweet reminding us that every single time the same thing happens, the FOMC announces, the market falls very briefly, and then Powell steps out to the podium and the market explodes higher. That is 100% A plus what happened. The market plunged, and for no reason at all, it started to rally. Powell went up to the podium. It went crazy. We had a 100-point reversal about on the ES, like 1,000 Dow points for no good reason at all. And then he stepped away from the podium, and it's like he dropped his pants and took a big dump in front of it. It was absolute wipeout. Absolute wipeout. We went from the 3,900s to the 3,700s. How do you like them apples? And this is pretty exciting because the thing is that we are actually right at the Fibonacci level. We are right there, right there, right there. And I'm telling you, it is within the realm of possibility, let's call it 5 to 10%, that we will get our 3,500 before this month is out. We are in an extraordinarily precarious state right now. And it is marvelous to me that we're getting a real market, an honest-to-God market that the Dave Portnoy clowns have no idea what to do with. and the WSB clowns, and the Jim Cramer clowns, and the Tom Lees, and the Marco Kalanovics, and all those other wet-nursed, antique shopping, leg-crossing, hairdressing ne'er-do-wells that I decry on this forum. This is the time of the bear. This is the time for our victory, and to basically mash their faces into this as much as we possibly can. And so I am fully loaded. I am finding it exceptionally hard to take profits, because as I take profits, it reduces that buying power, but I'm sticking to my plan here. It's like the hardest thing I've ever done, financially at least. But I'm sticking to that. So while I'm here, we can look at one or two other items. I mean, they all tell the same story, which is, complete mayhem and pandemonium is on the way. The NQ, what can I tell you? I mean, put it this way. I bought puts on Tesla today. That's how extreme it is. I'm usually petrified to go near Tesla, but I'm fully loaded. I have no buying power left. I have 35 bearish positions, one of which is indeed Tesla, which reversed about $15 after I bought it, in my favor. As far as the, it's RTY do anything interesting? Yeah, there's the small caps RTY. I don't know, just to a man, just completely prone to devastation. So I don't know how many times I can say that, but it's pretty cool. As far as the VIX goes, if we can get above this 36.5 level, it could get very interesting, because you can see there's kind of a base forming here, like so. So that would be, let's just throw a line down there to represent that. It would be very exciting to see that. Speaking of exciting, of course, tomorrow's Thursday, and Thursday has a special meaning for us now, because that's when the Fed data comes out. And my gold and platinum members know that I've made a Thursday habit of looking at that data because of our 2-week projection into the future. And it's going to get really interesting to see what that's indicating for us. I'll also make one final anecdotal remark, which is that, actually before I do, one last peek at crude oil. Yeah, same deal. Look at that. Just terrific. Very exciting. I'm just delighted, absolutely delighted by what we're seeing here. I'm out of customers. People aren't subscribing anymore. And in a way, that's kind of exciting. In other words, in spite of my visibility, 23,000 Twitter followers. I'm on every day on Tasty Trade. Luckbox runs an advertisement for Slope every single month. In spite of all that, in spite of the fact we're in a bear market here, I'm not getting any more subscribers. And you know what? That is totally okay with me. Because not only, God bless you people, God bless you, I've got plenty enough to keep food on the table. It just tells me that people don't believe it. People don't really buy the fact this is a bear market, and they're going to get left out. They don't believe it's possible. And in a meta kind of way, the fact that I cannot get a person to crack open their wallet for 20 or 30 bucks a month and make a ton of money in the bear side, that tells me everything I need to know about the psyche of the American public now. They've been wet-nursed to death, and they cannot believe what's happening. And that's okay, because you know what? We happy few do. And with that, I bid you farewell.